Hello. Hello, Moro.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Can
Rama.
you hear me?
Yes, can hear you clearly.
Yes, Rama, I think you cannot hear us.
Just one home and
okay.
cast it.
Yes. Hey, Rama. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello.
I can hear you, Moro.
Yes, but Rama have some trouble.
Yes. Wait him for some minutes.
Hi guys, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Rama.
Okay.
Now we.
Hi Dad, good morning.
Morning. Good night.
So, where are we going to start today?
I am thinking to quickly show PagerDuty and Savix. I think
You said something about a tool, right? You said you were using like some tool for all of them.
which tool? What?
In the Scrum, you said something, right? Like you are using some tool that you wanted to share.
Yes. Do you see my screen? No. Share screen number
So,
1.
where is the link, conference link for Katie? I don't see.
DevOps Kit.
I'm not able
What?
to see.
I send yes because I am using this software, Secure SRT. It's a Windows and Linux software. So I send the link.
Moro, 1 second. Moro, 1 second. In the conference page, I'm not able to see that a Katie link. Where is it?
This link.
Okay, you put it in troubleshooting, SOP and troubleshooting. Okay.
Okay.
Move it
Here. Must be here. DevOps. I don't move it that one. Maybe if I click here. Maybe it's
What's it?
the end. DevOps.
Yes. Going forward, what we should do?
So you can
The
just
bottom. Here.
we just create something called DevOps.
There is the link in the bottom.
Okay. Let's move to the top folder. Yeah. Top folder means you have DevOps plan, right? Keep DevOps plan and DevOps Katie, both of them together.
This one?
Yes.
Yes. So today, what do you want me to show? Route 53?
My first question is,
Yes.
minimize SOP and troubleshooting. That link, minimize that. On left side, you have SOP and troubleshooting.
This one.
No. On left side, left nav
You
bar.
can do it. You can also do it.
The header. I mean the main page. SOP and troubleshooting. Yeah, that one. Minimize that. Collapse that.
Collapse?
There is
Collapse this one. Yes.
keep
The DevOps
plan
plan.
and DevOps Katie together.
This one, the DevOps plan. This one, Rama? DevOps plan?
Yeah, my question is, I'm asking you to keep DevOps plan, DevOps Katie together and next to next.
Okay. So, I just moved one to
No. Move K to Katie.
let me go as one.
You can just drag and drop it. Drag that from left panel and drop next to it.
Possible
You
to
don't have
drop it?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can drag.
Good.
Mm.
That's it?
Yeah.
Was
Yes,
quick.
yes.
Okay. All right.
So then go to the KT.
Yes, sorry, Rama, what?
Oh, it's okay. I think we need to list all of them here, right?
All of what?
Yeah, I mean, whatever tools we need to do KT, we need to put all of them here, right?
One more thing I want to add about the backup policy. Hello.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
the backup.
Perfect.
Yes, the backup policy. There is a conference page about the backup policy, or is a plan for the backup policy? I can remember who was the last backup. No, it's a work in progress. Right now we are doing a daily backup on our RDS instance. A snapshot is the only place that we have a backup, because it's not extremely necessary to do a daily backup on the instance side, because we have several snapshots that take when I was doing the operation system upgrade. So if something happened, it just restore that snapshot and it will work, because the operation system and the package is not something that changes every day. Only the code, but that is we can handle in another way. So the most important data is to backup is the database, and we have a backup every night, every day on all of them, production, staging, and depth.
Do we have any backup and restore strategy? And do you have any file document about that?
No, I don't have any document about this, but we can work on that and create. But is the only way, the only place that we have backup is on RDS, so we can check there and the hour that is doing the.
Maro, I missed that. What did you say? The only backup we have is on?
The backup is only on database.
On the RDS instance.
Oh, AWS, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The only, and we have several snapshots of that of our instance, but it's enough. It's not necessary to do a daily backup, or maybe a monthly backup or weekly backup. It will be enough, because it's not extremely necessary. The most important data is the database. So.
Okay.
Okay, Doug, do you really log into PagerDuty to see how what do we have there, the services?
Wait a moment. The PagerDuty, I can log in tomorrow. I have logged in yesterday.
Okay, I will start recording this meeting. I forget to recording. So, do you want me to show you what we have, more or less publicly, what we have on PagerDuty, and how is the notification?
Maro, one question.
Yes.
Is it better to go with Jebbix first, right? So on top of PagerDuty, right?
Yes, probably yes. Let me open Savix.
Actually, you can go by like the overview of like what do we do, like which tool is doing what.
Okay, this is you that already made the login here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is the dashboard, and every time that we have some alert, it will appear here in this Windows problem. It will appear here. And how it works? Every time that, okay, not every time, but in the first time when I do the installation of Zabbix, I install the agent, the Zabbix agent, and that is automatically added here in the configuration host. Here we have all the hosts, all the instance server that we have. So, and here is attached to the application, Eastern, Tringer alert, the template. So some of the different value for the CPU use, memory is different between the production and staging, and depth is not the same. So a high CPU use on production is a critical, will trigger a critical alert, and if it's a staging of depth, it will trigger a lower value of the alert. Let me take a look at the action here. Here is how work to trigger an alert every time that somebody have a alert from one of the server. If the condition, for example, to trigger to PagerDuty, here it will send the alert to PagerDuty integration, and if the severity is high or disaster, and the server is not equal to this one because this is not critical, and the group is Opus 9 production, it will trigger the alert to Opus 9 critical via PagerDuty. Right? So if it's not critical, because the trigger check is high, warning, or average, it will trigger to not critical. And the group and the group is not equal to production, so is depth or staging. So this is something that you probably need to log in here and check what we have on the different template, the different alert trigger value. So this is it's not complicated, but need to fully understand how everything is integration with the template and the host and the PagerDuty. It will take some time to fully understand. For example, what do we have on the template production? Go to Trigger, and here we have the different value. For example, if the memory is less than 10%, here is the condition that I use Zabbix to check that, and the severity is high, it will trigger the alert. Everything is here. We are monitoring the load, CPU, memory, disk. Also, I set up for all particular infrastructure the passenger. So this is not from the default template. This is something that I added. And if passenger have a very high queue, it will trigger the alert. And also I put what is the?
Mara, I have a question.
Yes.
What is that passenger?
On Symfony and Nelly staging and production, we don't have a passenger on, because it's through Nginx and passenger. So this is monitoring only on the server Symfony, Ellie, and on station and production.
Okay, so passenger is only for Logis 9 applications, right? And Zabbix is for
exactly. On the server that we have Nginx, it will run also passenger.
So all requests go through passenger and Nginx.
Production.
So they will go through Nginx. Nginx is having passenger module.
Yeah.
So it go through passenger, then it will go to the application.
So those are, I think, those applications.
example, here I am on Product 1 Symfony. If you run passenger status, it will provide the information about passenger.
More, can you open Jebix agent on SIM1 and can you show the configuration?
On Savix, what do you want to see, Rama?
Agent.
On SIM1, let's look at Jebix agent configuration.
The configuration file of the Savix agent.
Correct.
This is a very almost default. The only thing that I changed, this is under Savix, if I remember correctly. Yes, here it is. The only important part is the let me review entirely this configuration file and show you exactly what is the difference between the default one and this one. The only thing that we need to change here is this one, enable remote command, and also the most important one is this one, the server. We need to put here monitoring.login9.net, and everything from there. The server active also is only 3 lines necessary to change.
What is the first line?
So sorry, what?
What is the first line that you changed? 2 lines are adding monitoring.opus9.com. What is the third line?
This one, remote command, or this one?
Okay, why do we need this remote command? Why do we need to enable the remote commands?
The remote command is exactly, for example, to be able to run this script, because Savix need to connect to the server and be able to run this script. And what is this script? This script check the queue number of passenger. So it runs remotely. So that command.
Server will connect to the agent instance and it will check the queue number.
Yes, Savix send the instruction to the Savix agent on the server, and the Savix agent in the server will run that command and provide the output to the Savix server.
No, Zabbix agent is running, not server. Zabbix agent is it's connecting to the server, and then that's what it's
exactly. Mm-hmm.
So my question is, if Jebix agent is passing all the data to the server,
mm-hmm.
why do we need that? Why do we need to enable the remote commands?
Because it's necessary. It will not work if you don't enable the remote command. I don't know.
So, what are the remote commands for? Like for the server or for the agent?
No. It's the ability to Savix agent to send instruction to the Savix agent. So if we disable this one, the Savix agent will ignore any request of remote code script execution.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Let me try something. What I am. Okay, let's do it correctly here. Check passenger queue number. Okay. So this number, it will the Savix agent send to Savix server this number, and Savix server will check the value, and if the value is greater than 10, it will trigger the alert. So that is how it works.
Okay.
All right. What else? Something very useful here on Zabbix, because when we need to troubleshoot a server performance, is the section of graph. Here we have everything logged on the internal database of Zabbix, all the data from all the servers. So for example, let's see, I don't know, which one is working every day very hard, this one.
There we are.
So here we have CPU, load, disk space, memory, network traffic, every within a time frame of 1 hour, 3 hours, 1 day, 6 months. Let me see, 6 months. Okay, we have a lot of data, so that is very useful to check. I don't know, some spike on the load, CPU use. Let's see the last 12 hours. We have some of not very high spike, but we have some no more than 14% of the CPU use. So it's running very, very good. Let's see the last 7 days. Almost everything is okay. The memory use, so everything about the server performance is here. Let's see, probably.
Or when you restart, do you restart like using the tool, or you restart directly on AWS?
Sorry, what was the question?
If there is a problem and like you restart sometimes the dev server, right? So do you restart using tool, or you restart it directly on AWS?
No, I restarted via command line. First I check what is the issue, but more or less the issue that we have here in the last month was, I think was 2 or 3 times that the instance is completely unhealthy. If you go here, it will trigger a lot of different alerts. And if you go to, and also you will not be able to log in. If you do SSH, the server will not answer. It's a completely dead. And if you go here to the instance, the dashboard in the AWS, it will here it will put a yellow color and see the instance is unhealthy. Mm-hmm. So the only way to fix that is doing a, I will show the Word server.
You don't do it. I'm just asking.
No. Yes, you need to do instant state and stop. That is very important. Do the stop, because when you have that issue when unhealthy instance, because it's something happened on that hypervisor where is running that instance. So if you click on a stop, that instance will be stopped, and then when you perform a stop, it will change the hypervisor. It will move it to another hardware. So that is very important to do. So if the instance isn't healthy, stop it. So to unattach to that hypervisor, and it will be attached to another computer, supercomputer, the hypervisor, the underlying hardware. So after that, you can start. And sometimes the stop is not working. You wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it say stopping, I never ended. So do this task again, stop, and it will appear a pop-up that say we will perform a force stop, and say yes, and it will be stopped by force. That happens several times here, so that is something.
Yes.
Are you clear about JBix configuration and a JBix agent?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I got it.
Yes, that you will need to log in and walk around, do the mentally connection between the template and the host. When you understand that, it's very easy, but you need to understand how the template is tied to to the host, because everything is through the template, because we have different template and trigger value for production, depth, and staging. So that is the most important part of Zabbix, because we have different trigger value for staging and depth and production. So that is important.
So those templates was modified by you already?
Exactly, because when you if you do an installation of Zabbix, it will have this template, this one, no, and everything here is the default one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you type a new server to a template, everything it will have the same trigger value, CPU value, but no. Here we need different value for CPU because it's production, it's staging, and also the integration with PagerDuty, because if the alert is a critical, immediately I need the call, PagerDuty call me, and if it's a lower, it's dead, it will not call me outside the working hour, only inside the working hour. That is something that we need to see on PagerDuty, how is the service configured. So
More one question.
yes.
Last time we created one Google spreadsheet to maintain all this monitoring data. So how much CPU, based on the CPU usage, we are sending alerts, right? So how much percentage of CPU usage will trigger the alert? We maintain them in one Google spreadsheet. Can you share it with Doug and Gaurav?
Yes, give me a second, because what is that? I remember that one.
Is it up to date? Are we maintaining latest?
Yes, because we don't change the trigger value. It's almost 99% that we have, because the CPU value and the load, everything. Okay, what is it? Trigger monitoring. I remember I opened that one a few days ago. Monitoring. Okay, this is not working. Monitoring. Why not show nothing?
Click enter.
Monitor. No. Oops. Go back.
Just enter monitor.
No, because I can't remember if that was the correct name. Monitoring matrix, yeah, this one. This was... no, it's a Confluent page. Yes, it's a Confluent page. No,
Not
it's
confused. I remember a Google spreadsheet.
Yes, but then I moved it. Cyril asked me to move it to a Confluence page. I remember that now. There is a Confluence page with the different value. Everything that we have here in this spreadsheet, I move it to the Confluence page. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, but what is the Confluence page?
It's from May last year. So it's not
Monitoring. What is the monitoring? Monitoring of Zabbix. Collaborator, control chain, Jenkins.
There's a monitoring stack before that.
Okay, what is the Zabbix?
It was up there before the SOP. Go up.
Up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's outside the parent. Like go up.
Here. Sorry. Okay, here is. Let's see here. I don't know. Somewhere must be that one. Add user.
Doug, here we have all the details how to add a Zabbix user, Zabbix agent.
Okay.
Here we have the how to install the Zabbix agent.
Whenever something is changed, we need to update this documentation.
Yes. Look, here is the command, one line command that it will install the agent, blah, 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 and will change the line that we need to change. Here, server, blah, blah, calling with the monitoring. That is the 3 line that we need to change. Everything is here. But what is the monitoring matrix? How to create this?
Mauro, why don't you like create a new DevOps folder and then move all of them into DevOps? The
Yeah.
CT, the plan, monitoring stack. And I also see words like there are other things, right? Put all DevOps into one, so otherwise it will be very difficult after you're gone to find them.
All
Yeah.
are DevOps.
No, the LTL carrier onboarding is not there. He has different.
Maybe we might.
This is Rama. This is the Confluence page that I move everything here.
Okay.
Here we have the URL monitoring. What is the stuff that we how I can let me see if I can. Okay. Do you see my screen is
Yeah.
is
Correct.
I-
Yeah, we are able.
Okay. Here is the URL monitoring. Let me show you that also. How is the URL monitoring? Here is the environment. What is on this case is the load balancer because it's the main URL. Public, internal, the response code that we have every when Zabbix check, and how is the threshold. The alert. Every 16 seconds, it will treat, when 2 consecutive fail, it will treat the alert. For example, this is the internal check, Pro 1 LE1, Pro 1 LE2. So Zabbix is doing the internal check. If one server is down, we will get the alert, but we will not get this alert because it's through the load balancer. So if only one instant fail, we will get this one, but not this one. And if the 2 no fail, it will trigger this 2 one and also the load balancer, the high availability URL. Also here we have the monitoring of the DAT. It's a 3-party URL services, right,
Yeah.
Rama?
Yes. Duck, here we are monitoring all application URLs and third-party partner API URLs.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if any of them are down, we will immediately get notification.
Exactly.
Okay.
Who is doing that? Who is monitoring those URLs? Third party?
Is it PagerDuty or JBix? Which one is monitoring more?
Monitoring is always Zabbix.
Yeah.
And then Zabbix will trigger via PagerDuty integration to PagerDuty, and in PagerDuty will call me and create the incident depend of the severity. If production will create the critical alert and it will make the call. And if it's lower, it will make the call only in working hour, and outside the working hour, it will create a ticket only and will not make the call. Understood? More or less?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Duck, any questions on monitoring the URLs?
And URL monitoring.
Um,
Can you show me the configuration from the Zabbix server?
yes, that was the thing I want to show you. What is the URL monitoring? It's very easy. You go to host, and if it's dev, you must go to look here, web 8, web 7, web 12.
Okay.
Okay, this is the URL monitoring, because for staging, all the URL from staging is doing using the host salt master. But it's not really through this server. It's just to put everything in one server. Forget this one. It's not really attached to the salt instance. It's the monitoring that the core operation that will check the answer is through the Zabbix server. It's not through the SAL. I chose this server just to a group in one server. And for example, for that is on the test command, also the SAL, or it's running the SAL, and for production is the same Zabbix server. So if we need to change something on the production URL, go here, web, and here you will see the different URL. So this is the number of the stop, interval, the number of the interval every 30 seconds, every 1 minute, it will check. For example, let's see this one. Update interval 1 minute, attempt 2 times, and using the Agent Internet Explorer 11. That is something that we always need to put, Internet Explorer 11. And the step is the most important part here. If you click on the login on this step, so what Zabbix is doing, it will go to this URL and do the login with this information. This is my email address and the password. So, and that it will return a 302 status. And if it's valid, it's okay. And if it is for some reason not able to log in because my user disappeared or the server is not responding, the status, it will not be 302 and it will ring the alert. So here is where you configure the different URL. Also, this is for the check, but you need to configure also the trigger condition. So let's see, for example, this one. This is the name of this web scenario. So let's go to trigger. Everything of the value and the condition.
Can you go back more? Go back to the web scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down. Yeah, I guess P44 is not there. Can you create a ticket like for Doug to add P44 monitoring here? So he'll also get to practice.
Which URL? What?
P44.
Third party P like that. We have that.
Okay.
P44 for LTL. That is missing from here. So create a ticket for Doug to add P44 monitoring here.
Okay. Okay. You hear that? That is a new URL that we need to monitor it.
Yes.
Well, you sign WhatsApp, I email with the endpoint, and if it's necessary to do a login or just to check some string, I don't know, all the information via email, so we can work that. We can
okay. Yeah.
that. Okay. Also, that here is the web scenario where is you define the different steps and the checking of the response code, etc. But what is the condition for trigger the alert here in trigger section? So type URL here in tag URL and apply, and you will see the condition for the different web scenario. For example, if admin Opus Logis 9 is down, it will trigger a severity disaster. It's a disaster. How? Because here is the expression that Zabbix, this trigger used to create the trigger condition. So if the last value is greater than 0 and the last two value is greater than also 0, because 1 is fail and 0 is okay, it will trigger the alert.
You should have
Okay.
a microphone.
And here is all the different trigger condition. It's not complicated that, because you if you need to create a new one, you will have all these as example. So just need to walk around and and see how work the other one, because more or less all are the same, and when sometimes
Hi, Doug.
Hello, Amin.
Hi. Yeah. Moro don't need to walk through each and every URL, every monitoring. Just one or two. I mean, different. I mean, based on the different types of monitorings, one or two samples are good. If we go through every URL monitoring, it will waste a lot of our time. So once he explained
hello.
one or two URLs, that is enough, and you can take a look at them later. And if you have any questions, you can come back tomorrow.
Okay, thanks, Grandma.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello,
Oh,
Moro.
yes, tomorrow.
Yes, I was speaking alone almost for 2 minutes until I realized that the Zoom is died.
Yeah.
Okay,
Moro, I think we are good with JBix monitoring. Duck will play with it today, and if he is having any questions, he will come back tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. That go to
Let's move to pager duty.
okay right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. PagerDuty. Also, PagerDuty is quite simple, because here on the configuration services, here we have the different services and the integration key. Let me show you, for example. Let me see. Okay, the most important one, the only that we are really using is these two services, critical and not critical. This is some for manual incident creation. It's not important. The only thing is the Opus 9 alert critical and Opus 9 alert not critical. If you click inside there, you will see the different integration and the incident that is open right now. For example, we have some transaction deadlock detected that we need to talk with Ramiro. What is the integration here? Here we have the key of Zabbix, CloudWatch, and Sumo Logic. That is something that go to PagerDuty and see the manual how work the integration with CloudWatch, Sumo Logic. It's not complicated.
The PagerDuty, it will connect to JBix server, it will connect to Sumo Logic, and it will connect to AWS CloudWatch. And if there are any incidents, the PagerDuty will trigger it, and it will send a notification.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it will send different types of notifications. If it is critical, it will make a call to the main contact person. So the first call today, as per the today's configuration, the first call will go to Moro. If we don't answer, if we don't respond within 10 minutes, the call will come to me.
If it's critical, if it's not critical, only me.
Yeah. So at the same time, it will send an email to everyone.
Exactly.
And it will post some message into Slack.
Exactly. Here the configuration for Slack is a station. If and notify to the channel if it resolve, acknowledgement or assigned changes to Opus 9 alert lower. That is this one. Here we will get also the the message.
Mauro, can you invite Duck to this group, or Duck, you can join it? It is open.
Add me also.
Okay.
Yeah, you can join.
Oh, it's open.
Yeah, it's open.
It's a VIP section.
AU. GAU.
Mauro, it's okay. Gaurav will connect it later.
Oh, why is not working? Okay.
GAU.
Okay. And also on the what was the net operation is the critical incident. Oh, 2 members only, me and Rama. Doug. Okay. So here we are on the Opus 9 non-critical, so it will trigger to Opus 9 alert. And also the email notification is through the, do you remember yesterday that we talked about the PHP mailer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the PHP mailer is a script that I did, is a PHP script that it takes the data because this is a webhook. So every time the PagerDuty have an alert, it will trigger this webhook and send the payload with a lot of information to this script. Why is say to because it's only send the Cyril asked me time ago, I don't want to see the email from lower, so I create a clone of that script to only send an email to my address.
Mauro, can you show the location of the script?
Yes, this is on Salmachi. But this is something that is not really important to check right now. We can take a look after. It's not.
Yeah, if Duck knows the location, he can check it later.
Okay. I think we have a conference space for this, for the PHP mailer. I think we have PHP mailer. Okay, I have to. Let me do it with short to be sure. PHP Gaga.
One
Here is.
question, Mauro. Why do
Yes.
we use PHP mailer? Why don't we use the SMTP mail agent from our mail server, our bus email, to send notification from PagerDuty?
I don't fully understand your question, Doug. Could you?
For the send notification, you use the script from PagerDuty mail.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Why? Let me explain why first. That is the most important part. If we use the notification email of PagerDuty, is horrible. Is really horrible. And Cyril in our previous boss asked me to create to find some way to have a better email notification. So I create that PHP script to take the payload of the webhook and take the information and create a email with a good format. For example, this one. No, this one. This one. If the webhook have the payload with Tringer, it will send the email with the subject Tringer and what is the alert. And inside the PHP is all the code that will make this output. PagerDuty notification, the incident status, assigned to services, and the PagerDuty URL.
Duck, PagerDuty is providing its own email service, but the messages we cannot format however we want.
Okay.
So that's why Mauro added this script to send messages in custom format.
Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, Mauro, Doug's question is different. His question is, why did we use PHP mailer instead of using SMTP, local SMTP directly?
PHP looks good.
The local postfix you are talking,
Yeah,
Rama?
if you have SMTP server, we can send email through
No.
SMTP server.
No, because the PHP mailer is a module for PHP that take all the information because I already set up all the email credential and the endpoint of AWS to the Amazon says endpoint. So it's sending through PostFix, but we need the PHP. Let me try to show that. Okay. Docker PS to stop, to start, Docker log, how to log into the Docker container. I want to show you this code. It was here. Docker PS story. It's not running. Docker. Server topics. Sal. I moved it to Pro. I can remember that. Docker, yes. Yes, it's in Pro. No, it's not in State. It's in Pro. It's running. Let me log in to see the PHP code. Now I am inside the container. For example, this is the for lower. Okay, this is how I made the email body. So everything is here, and it will.
Tomorrow when it sends, do we need any local SMTP server?
Yes, that is configured here.
Okay, Doug, for your question, we already have SMTP server. We are sending email through SMTP server.
But we use
this script is to format the message.
Exactly. So here is all the data for the Amazon says credential. So it's something called PHP mailer because it's via PHP. You was able to send an email. So that is how it's called PHP mailer.
Okay. So we are sending email through AWS SES.
Okay.
SES. Yep.
Okay.
So if you have time, also it's not critical and something that you will have a lot of time to check this. Here is the conference page that is where it's running. So if sometimes you had some alert on PagerDuty and there is no email because the container is not running or the PHP mailer is broken or something like that. So you will know how to check the script and start the container. Everything is here in this web page. How to stop, list the container, stop and start, and check the log. So, yeah. Okay, let's continue with PagerDuty. Okay, it's not really complicated. PagerDuty also is something that you need to walk around and understand how it's interconnected between the different type of type of alert, no critical and critical, and who is the escalation police. For example, for no critical is me. If we check services, critical is the same if we go directly to configuration, escalation, policies. Here is the escalation policy. For example, that was a Rama was will call you. For example, if there is a critical alert, it will call me immediately to me. If I don't respond, after 10 minutes, it will call Rama. If Rama don't pick up the phone, it will call me to me 9 times. Got it?
Yeah, it will repeat.
Exactly, it will repeat. So yes, also that.
So here we can schedule that time. So if I don't want to get calls from 6 p.m. to morning 6 a.m., I can schedule it here. Can you go to my calendar? Go to escalation policy.
It's on calendar, right?
Go down. No, not here. Go to the critical one. Go to the critical one. Yeah, stay here. Yeah, here I scheduled my availability to take the call.
Exactly. So more or less is 24/7 right now.
Yeah, here if you don't want to receive 24/7, if you want to receive calls only in working hours, we can set them here.
Edit this schedule. Rama, the time zone, student daily. What is? Okay, we need to add another layer. Hand off time. Here you define the hand off time. Okay, everything is here. You must go here and take a look at. It's not complicated.
Okay.
What else we have here? Services, channel. Configuration. Let me see what else is important. Services, escalation policy, user. No. This is not necessary. The most important is the services and the integration that is under this tab. What else? And also, for example, something. Okay, any question about PagerDuty?
It's okay now. I will have question later.
Okay.
Okay. For today, take a look at the JBeex and PagerDuty configuration.
Exactly.
And if you have any questions, we can discuss them tomorrow.
Yeah, check that how is the try to understand how is the integration between Zabbix and PagerDuty.
Moro,
So go to
I have
yes.
sent you some questions this morning. If you have time, have me to answer some questions, and this help me to more understand about AWS.
Okay.
Can you open that email, Moro?
What, Rama?
He sent a couple of questions right in the email.
Yes, but I don't have this one. Yes. No, we don't use template. We don't use a template because we are not using Terraform or any deployment services. It's just everything is by hand. Could you help to list all the steps to? Okay. This is this is the normal task to create a new server.
We have those details in Confluence, right?
No, Rama, this is the most normal documenting. For example, on AWS manual, there is all the steps how to create. It's a very easy step, not necessary to explain how to create a new VM, because it's not really tied to Opus 9 infrastructure. It's the most normal task.
But do we have
So-
any
Okay.
policy must to follow when we add a new?
No, you must to check. For example, if you are adding a new VM, you need to take a look. For example, if you need to create, I don't know, a VM for another services, I don't know, another Jenkins, for example. Take a look which security group have, for example. That is also a normal stuff. If you need to open some special port and be able the communication internally with another server, that is everything through the security group. And also, if the server needs a public IP address or not, that is something that also is basic.
I think
When you create a new instance, you need to know if the instance will in which VPC will run. So when you are creating the instance, attach to the correct VPC, if it's production or station or depth. It's a very easy. For example, let me show you right now how to create a new instance.
do you have managed list for all the VM? Include the server name, the IP address.
If I have a list,
How you manage on the instances?
no, through the console, through the web interface. We are not using, or at least me, I am not using the command line via API. Every time that we need to create a new instance, it's everything manually. We are not using Terraform or I don't know, Terraform is the open source to deploy, but here we are not using any of that deployment tools. If we need to create a new instance, you go to launch a new instance, select the operation system, and show the VPC, the network, if we need a public IP address or not. The normal way to create a new instance is you can try that. It's not a problem. Try to create a new instance on depth and select the key of VPC. For example, if I click here and click on connect, you in the end, after selecting the disk and the instance site, the network, the VPC, everything, in the end, it will ask you for if you have the pen file. So you already have, because I sent to you already the 3 pen file.
Okay, I got
So after the instance is running, connect to via SSH with the user Ubuntu and use that pen file, and you will be able to log in. If you provide a public IP address, if not, you need to log into the Bastion and then jump to that internal server. So it's the basic stuff to create a VM. We are not using any weird configuration. It's the very normal
Okay.
that you can find in the documentation of AWS. How to restore a VM. If you need, also this is something that you will find on the AWS documentation, because it's a
Right now, we don't have any backup policy for the instances.
no. And to create a new instance, you must go to VM
Moro, let's move forward. I think he knows how to create the instance.
Okay. But yes, because he has.
I mean, his main questions are: do we have any documentation, or what is the current policy like that? If they are generic details, I think we don't need to go one by one.
We are using the normal way to create. We don't have anything weird. Just the security group, the port, and the VPC is a normal way.
Moro, I would like to ask: do we have a managed list for all the server? At least we can manage the public IP address for each server. And how about the storage of the VM? We had managed on the server in a spreadsheet in Google.
No.
Doug, can you repeat your question?
If you have a list on the spreadsheet, no, we don't have. No.
You have a list of all storages for all the.
That was the question, that if you have some spreadsheet with all the instance and the public IP address, with all the information,
yes, and
the default user, no, we don't have that one, because it's everything. We don't have a very large.
Yeah, we can see all of them in the console, right? AWS console.
Yes, exactly. So if we need to restore, is the basic task that go to image. Here we have the different snapshots that I take when I was doing the operation system upgrade. So choose any of these and click on launch, and this is the process to create a new instance, and it will use that image. So it's pretty basic. It's very, you can take a look here.
Doug, if you want to maintain all of them in your spreadsheet, we can do it later. We can add them later.
Okay, Rama.
Yes, I never do that a spreadsheet because we don't have a lot of servers. We only have 31, 32.
I think the last question is important. Like he's asking ACL. Do we have ACL on S3s?
No. It depends of the bucket.
Okay, sorry.
It's depend of the bucket.
Moro, 1 second. Let's go one by one. Don't jump in the list.
The next one is AWS. How to add a new DB instance. That is we don't have any weird task step. Just create an instance. Select the VPC ID and the default security group. I think we only have one. Let me take a look quickly. Is this RDS? We only have one security group per instance and environment. Let me see. Oh man, it's slow.
6.
If you need to create a new instance, is the normal step to create that you can find on the AWS Confluence documentation. And the important one is to know the VPC, and which security group you need to attach. We are using this one and station and depth for station depth. So that is the only thing that we need to have the precaution when we are creating a new instance. Also, that is not a problem. Just log in here and create a new instance on the depth VPC. Play around, take a look at the configuration of the depth DB, and
Moro, we don't have any custom configuration, right? We can simply create a database.
Just create like the instance. Just create a new database. Select the VPC, the security group. That if you don't know which security group, compare with the another instance. We have 3.
Duck, everything is by default. Whatever, I mean, when we create a database, whatever we get by default, that is it. We don't have any custom configuration.
No. We don't have any weird stuff.
Okay, let's go move to the next one.
Okay, DB administrator account. This is the DB admin. Do you send to Doug Rama the credential of DB admin user?
So right now we both are admins, right?
Yes, we are using the DB admin user to access to the instance.
Okay, his question is to access the instance or to access RDS? DB administrator account.
I think RDS.
Duck, what is your question?
Database admin, it means
Yes, the DB admin user. The DB admin user.
If it is admin user, I will send you the credentials.
Yep.
okay. So
Okay,
database admin under your man is Rama.
Yes. Right now, Moro and myself.
Okay.
I think you are also. You might be added to that.
Okay.
You just need credentials. I will pass them.
Also, okay, and the next one, AWS S3. We don't have any special ACL of that. If you have the bucket for the file of the app, and it's not open to the public. I can remember the ACL of this bucket, but we are not using also that any weird. It depends of what we need to do with that bucket, if it's public or not, or let's see, for example, it depends the configuration that we want to provide for that bucket. Here on permission, you take a look of is everything off, access control list, this is the account that have access to this bucket,
Right.
public access everyone, no. So we don't have anything weird, management, access control.
That is also default.
Yep. So yep, exactly. We don't have anything weird or using some template to create database or instance or S3 bucket. Also, we are not creating very often a new bucket on S3 or instance, but when you will need to create a new instance, just take a look and take as example the another one that we have, because it's only need to know the VPC and which security group, because we have some default one, for example the Savix security group, to be able to connect that to that instance, the security group that open the SSH port, that to be able the Bastion to log into that server. That is, everything is default. You will know when you check every instance, is everything almost the same. Doug.
Duck, is clear to you? All your questions are clarified?
Okay, it's clear to me now. So I need time to review the traffic and base duty. I have a question later.
Yeah, sure. We can discuss tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's
Thank you, guys. I have another meeting. I need to leave.
Okay, see you, Rama. That send me the public IP, the public key, so I can create the user, because the last one don't work.
I generate the key and send you soon.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Bye bye. I will send also the video recording in a moment.
Yeah, thank you.
See you. Bye bye. See you.
Where can I disconnect?
Right click and disconnect. So.